Hey there everyone, Paller here, and welcome back. Today I have a hey, what's that? Super Hot. So Super Hot came out about 3 weeks ago. I'm a little late on this, was tied up with Black Desert Online and all the other stuff that's been going on. But it did come out, and this is the full game release of what was a very interesting Game Jam demo that came out a few years back. They took it, they added on, they expanded the game, and released the full game for $25. So what is Superhot? Well, it's almost a first-person puzzle game. And I know that might not seem on the surface when you first watch it, it might not seem like a puzzle game, but it kind of is. It's a spatial awareness puzzle game in where essentially what's happening when you move, time moves at real time. If you stand still, time still moves, but very slowly. So you can turn around, and if you're not moving, you can see a bullet coming towards you, and it'll still hit you eventually, but it travels at a fraction of a second. It's like 1/1000th of the speed of when you actually move. So when you're in game, you're playing this little, not Simon Says, this, I don't even know what it would be called. It's the first Matrix movie, where Trinity and Neo are going into that large building towards the end to rescue, what's the older gentleman's name? Morpheus. And that opening scene in the basement, or the entrance built area with the pillars, and they're jumping around the walls and shooting and bullets are flying. That is what Superhot is. You are playing as Neo in that, and you're punching people in the face, grabbing their guns out of the air, shooting the next person, throwing the gun at the person behind them, grabbing that person's gun after they get hit, and it's good. It's really, really good. It becomes almost puzzle-like, though, as you get put in these situations where literally the movement of a inch or two left or right can save your life or kill you. So they put you through all these weird scenarios where you're going to start off many times without a weapon, and you need to grab an ashtray and throw it at a guy's face, and that's going to cause him to throw his gun up in the air when he gets hit in the face, and you're going to grab his gun out of the air. Well, now you have to decide, do you shoot the guy that's closest to you but doesn't have a weapon, but if he punches you, you're still going to die, or do you shoot the guy coming around the corner with a gun? Or do you maybe move to your right because there's a guy behind you? So you have to play through these little, like, puzzle in order to determine your best course of action in order to survive the certain circumstances or situation they put you in. And it's good. It's actually quite good. It's very enjoyable. It's very simplistic. You know, it takes the core elements of what make a good, satisfying shooter, boils them down to the bare minimum, and then puts it out there for a relatively cheap $25 game. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later on. The shooting is fun. It's enjoyable, but it's not really about the shooting. You know, this isn't a gun nut type game. This isn't Battlefield with super realistic bullet physics or anything like that. No, it's about the movement, the flow of the game as you go through. And it becomes very frantic where you hear there's no music in this game. When you're actually playing, there's no music at all. But you'll hear this ambient sound of like these people teleporting into the game, and you'll hear them off to your right. And then it's like, well, you're looking at this guy who's shooting at you with a shotgun, but off to your right you hear this teleport in. Well, does that guy that just came in, does he have a shotgun? Does he have a machine gun? Does he maybe have a katana? How do you proceed forward? So you get this somewhat trial and error type element going on as you work through these different scenarios in order to survive out the other side. Some people are going to find this frustrating. Many levels, I had to play 5, 8, 10 times before I could beat them. Some levels I could beat on my first try. Some levels there was one level in particular that took me, 20 tries before I finally beat it. It was one of those ones where I had to stop at the end of the night, get up, go, have a good night's sleep and everything, come back to it the next afternoon, and then I beat it like my second try back. So there is some frustration there, but it does do what it set out to do very well. Now, content-wise, the game has a story mode. The story mode is made up of roughly 25 missions. It took me just over 2 hours to complete. The story mode, though, only really is there to unlock further content. So they tried to create a training mode, and that's more what the story mode is. It starts you off very simplistic and builds upon itself, adding in more mechanics, teaching you the ways of playing the game. And then when you're finally done with that, it unlocks a challenge mode and an endless mode where it brings all those mechanics together, and you need to find a way to beat these missions depending on how you want to do it. There's, I want to say, 13 different challenge modes, and then there's 9 different endless maps that have different challenge modes within those maps themselves. So there is a number of fairly good content if you don't mind going back through and if you don't mind just challenge mode type content. And for a game like this, that does work. The story, I'm not going to spoil the story here at all. It's very meta, air quote there, meta, and it does tie the game together nicely enough for that 2-hour campaign. Did I care about it at all? No, not really. Was I impressed by the story at the end? No, not really. There were a few interesting elements in it, but it's more just a training zone or tutorial zone that you're going through. And overall, if you really like a good, clean shooting game, if you like the mechanics of dodge, shoot, run, catch, and those elements are just so clean, I do think that if you like that concept, you should like Superhot. There's something very satisfying about spawning in a room, picking up a keyboard, smashing a guy in the face, taking his gun out of the air, shooting the guy behind him, turning around behind you. Now, it's faster to throw the gun than let the gun rechamber, right? You're moving faster than the gun itself. So after you fire a bullet, there's like a 1.5-second window before the next round is rechambered in. In that amount of time, you can actually throw the pistol. So it's faster to shoot, turn, throw the pistol bounces off the guy's face, grab his pistol out of the air, turn back around, shoot the first guy that you originally took the pistol from, turn back around, shoot the second guy again, and you get into this like ballet, this dance with the game. And I like it. If you haven't caught on, I really do like it. I think it's very enjoyable. It's not a game that you're going to pour hundreds of hours into, not even dozens of hours, but it is a good one of those. I would almost put it up there with like Lufttrousers. If you haven't seen my Lufttrousers video, I have a video up about it from about 2 years ago, and I very much like Lufttrousers, whatever. It's one of those games where you can pick it up and you can play it for 10 minutes to an hour and have a really good time, put it down and not play it again for a week or two. Then pick it up and play it for 10 minutes to an hour, have a really good time, put it down, not play it again for a week or two. And you can come back. When you got that little bit of free time and you're sitting around, it's a good game to do with something like that. Now, before we really go too far, though, we have to talk about the price tag, because this was where the big controversy about this game came in. It's $25. Is a 2-hour campaign plus maybe another dozen hours on top of that, 14 to 16 hours of free missions worth $25? It's hard to say. This is kind of one of those ones where normally I can come in and I can pretty clearly say to myself, yes, I think this is a good value. No, I don't think this is a good value. I can normally pretty evenly in my videos I come out and just say, wait for a price drop or pick it up now at this rate. I don't know how I feel in this one. It's kind of right in that ballpark point where it's a little too expensive, but it's not crazy too expensive because the gameplay is quite enjoyable. And that probably means it's actually fairly well priced. If I could easily recommend it without any hesitation, that means it's probably a little low priced. If I can instantly tell you, no, don't go out and buy it, it's too expensive, wait for a sale, that probably means it's overly priced. So the price point is actually, in my opinion, probably pretty good. $25 for, say, 12 hours of gameplay that you can play off and on forever. Is that so bad? It's not. But it's really going to come down to how much do you like that core loop gameplay? Do you enjoy being Neo from the Matrix? More than Max Payne ever did, this does it that well. If you can get into if you don't mind challenge modes and endless modes like that, yeah, I think it's quite good. I'm not going to give it a grade or anything. It's too simplistic of a game to really give a grade on. But I do recommend at some point at least checking it out. If you do want to try the game without buying the game, the original Game Jam demo, the proof of concept, is out there, can be downloaded and played. And it plays mostly the same way as that. There is one new mechanic Well, one new major mechanic in the final release game that wasn't in that Game Jam version, and you'll actually see me using it here in the footage, so I might as well just spoil it. You can change every once in a while, like every 20 seconds of real time, not every 20 seconds of movement time in the game, not real time, sorry. You can swap bodies with someone. So you can get yourself out of hairy situations with this bzoop, jump over to someone else and you're now in their body. But you can only use it like every 20 seconds, like I said. So that's the only major mechanical change. So you can try the Game Jam version. And if you like it, the full version is just that, but more of it and a little more polished, a little bit better off. I'm going to leave you all now with a bit of footage from the game. This was one of the Endless Modes runs I did. And this was actually the best one I've ever done. I had 49 kills in this. My previous best was like 22 or 23. But on this one, I just hit that rhythm where everything was coming, everything was popping, and I did quite well. But I think what it does is it encapsulates the theme, the feel of the game, better than I could ever do in talking. If you just watch this, you'll have a pretty good idea of what's going on. So I hope hopefully you enjoy it. And until next time, this has been Paller. Thanks for watching. What the hell am I supposed... I have an apple. I'm guessing that you have a gun. Give me your gun. Which way is he going? That way? Oh no. Come on, reload and hit him. Good. Oh shit, and we want to get that. Holy hell! I just got a triple kill. Give me your sword. Holy hell, I'm still going. Throw the sword. Catch the gun. Oh! This is bad.